Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Strokovich Plays Yakuza 4. I'm trying something new out today. I grabbed a male to female auxiliary extender. I think it was about 6 or 7 feet, and it has like that like cloth over it. Not really cloth, but like cord. You know how when you go and buy like bungee cords and whatnot. That's kind of how it feels on the outside. It was pretty nice. It was like $10, I think, because I wanted to be able to actually hear the games that I'm playing, and not have the what's it called, the game audio leak into the mic. Because even at one, because throughout all of these videos, all of the how many have I done so far? 34. Out of all of the 34 videos, I had my TV at 1. Now, that might not seem like a lot, but for some reason, my TV is weird when it comes to volume. It's either so quiet you can't even hear it, or it's way too loud at just like 1. And it does this weird thing where from 1 to 10, like from 1 to 9, it won't raise up the volume at all. But then as soon as you get to 10, it like bumps it up incredibly. But then from like 10 to 25, it won't raise it up anymore either. It's just the weirdest shit ever. And I figured it'd probably be a problem to have like the video audio from the TV, like out in the open like that with my mic and stuff. I figured maybe that was one of the things causing some problems. I don't really know. So I bought a male to female extender, and I'm wearing headphones so that I can actually hear the audio for once. Hear the audio correctly for once. And we'll see how that works out for us. I'm playing this as soon as I woke up, so I'm a little groggy and hungry and stuff, and my brother's dog like kicked me in the balls twice this morning. So I think the last time we left off, we were looking for the suitcase that Yasuko had told us about, that had $100 million in it, and that we were supposed to give it to Katsuragi. Well, I got a call from Katsuragi who set up a meeting. And if I remember, is that a fucking head of a pig back there? See, it's funny because I don't know if it's because of the graphics. I don't know if those like ducks or chickens right there are supposed to be real or not. I'm assuming they're supposed to be real because this is like a restaurant and whatever, and it's in like China / Korea / Thailand town or whatever. But it looks very like fake, like fake plastic food. Someone's waiting for me. Who? Ooh, Filipino girl, huh? Isn't it supposed to be Filipina? I could have sworn you're supposed to put Filipina when you're talking about like the females, and then Filipino when you're talking about the males. But I could be completely wrong. The only thing I know about the Philippines is that, for one, they are islands. I didn't know that before. And one of their languages, if I don't know like too much about their languages, I just know that there's a language that they have called Tagalog, and that's kind of their language, and it is so cool of a language. I mean, I really like the Asian languages for how they sound, but I think the Philippines language, Tagalog, really sounds interesting. It's very intriguing. So this chick, Faye, wants me to be her boyfriend, and she'll do anything. Now, knowing how much of a scumbag Tanimura is, let's see how this works out. Yeah, you can't just come out and be like, hey, be my boyfriend. I mean, it'll probably work on half the guys you meet, but we're a main character, so you got to explain shit to us. Okay, so it looks like she wants us to save her. Save her from what? He go to prison. I wonder if that's a translation error or it's supposed to be broken up like that. But you would think that it's not supposed to be broken up like that because we're supposed to assume, I think, that she's speaking Tagalog, right? Like the Filipino language. Because this is the area where the people who aren't from Japan live and are able to speak their language. But then again, I don't know how many languages Tanimura knows. We don't know who that, or which country that one detective came from, but I was assuming China. So I'm guessing that Tanimura knows at least Chinese and Japanese. Makes me curious to know if he knows English. So this is a side mission, obviously, and it is a side mission I'm going to do for a couple reasons. One, it's a decent side mission, and you know it's not bad. Two, I don't like to leave people hanging like this. Like, look at her, she's so worried and like she's so happy when she knows that I'll do it for her. You know. Three, the XP will be very worth it. If any of the 4 characters need to be raised up in levels for the end, it's Tanimura. And I'm not gonna give out why. You know, I just want Tanimura high level. You know. I kind of regret spending so much time on Akiyama, even though Akiyama's thing is like bigger than others. Like his story is longer, you know, because he's the first character, and it would be really jarring to only play with the first character for a little bit and switch almost instantly, because Akiyama is the one that he came first, so all of the tutorials they need to teach you about the base game mechanics happened with him. Oh, there's a key there. I see it. Mei Hui. I think she's Chinese. That name sounds really Chinese. Alright, so it looks like her father was taken and she wants us to go find him. Oh, I actually remember this one. This is a good side mission. This is pretty good. I like it. Ooh, a stamina and X. And a toughness Z. Great. I wonder what we're going to be doing. I love this game. It's been quite a while since I've gotten to play this game. I've been kind of busy with work and everything. Oops. Senro Avenue. And I haven't really been wanting to... That's Pink Alley. Okay. I haven't really been wanting to record. I've just been feeling very tired. Work has been a little crazy. We've actually been getting our hours like that were actually scheduled, which has been nice. But at the same time, it's really tiring to be going from getting so like little hours to all of a sudden getting a bunch of hours. And then they've been being a little more strict with like no drawing, no what's it that guy looks suspicious. No, he's just a chill guy, cool. Or like no drawing in between calls, no reading, no any. I mean, we can still talk to people, but oh, okay, that is him. But one thing that used to help me get through my day was working on my rough drafts for my comics that I like to draw. Because there's nothing you can do in between a call. I mean, it's just ringing. You're just waiting for someone to pick up. There's literally nothing you can do. So just having to sit there and do nothing really kind of drains you a little bit quicker than, say, if you had something that you were interested in doing. And I kind of understand. I'm pretty sure they're only cracking down because we have like higher management coming over to inspect Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I think they said. But it doesn't really make sense why they're cracking down before he even comes. I'm hoping that's the only reason, and that they'll let us go back to having a little bit more freedom once he leaves, because it just makes more sense to give out, to let people be a little more free, because you stifle you stifle your employees, and they're gonna get tired. They're not gonna be as motivated. It just makes more sense from a what's it called? In an employer's perspective, to allow your people to not get burnt out. You know what I mean? Especially in a profession like this, where it can be very draining on your psyche. I mean, so having something to kind of distract yourself in between calls is the best. Oh man, did you guys hear that they are coming out with Red Dead Redemption 2? How awesome is that going to be? It's going to be like so cool. I mean, I haven't I've never beaten the first one. I know how it ends, but I've never beaten it. And not because I couldn't beat it or anything. It's just when I'm playing a game, I like to do everything. Like everything. And oof. Looks like some shit's going down. Looks like we gotta go help her. But I like to do every single thing in a video game. Down to, like, the last side quest, The only reason why I'm able to skip them here is because I've done them before. I've done every side quest in this game. So when it's a game that's like that, like an open world game that's very long, I get burnt out because I sit there and try to do everything I can. You know what I mean? And it can get really, really tiring to keep playing the game after playing it for like 15 hours and you're still in like the beginning of the story, because you've been doing all of the side quests. And that's on me. That's totally not on the developers. That's completely on me. And that is why I haven't beaten a lot of my games. I've actually went back and I've been trying to complete a lot of the games that I own, because I own a lot of games. But compared to how many games I own to how many games of those I've completed, there's more games I haven't completed than games that I, have. But it's been getting a lot better. There are some games that you can't really complete, Like, I'm looking at, like, I own WWE 2K, looks like 14, right, for the PS3. And even though there's like there is kind of like a story mode technically with the showcase, I think. you can't really ever beat that game, because it's just a game where you wrestle. You don't really do anything. Shellick. That's where I was trying to go in the beginning. Pink Street. I'm pretty sure Pink Street is just to the left. Yeah. So I'm gonna go do that because, like I said, I need the experience. So yeah, games like that where you can't really beat it, where you just keep playing it until, you win or something. I don't really plan on. I don't really plan on counting them towards like the complete or incomplete, or incomplete, I guess. It would seem a little cheap, It's like, oh, I beat the 3 hour, quote unquote storyline of WWE 2K14, so that's going towards complete. Like, no, that's stupid. I'm looking through my PS3 games right now, trying to see which ones I haven't beaten. Adventure Time, Explore the Dungeon, because I don't know, I think is what it says. They're kind of far away, and I never had good eyesight to begin with, and my glasses are a little dirty right now. I kind of skipped over wiping them down this morning because I just wanted to start recording as soon as possible. Get as many episodes done as today as I can, so that I don't really have to worry about it for a little while. Oh. Alright. I almost just wasted that bottle. Get out of my way! Yeah. Bam! Bitch! I'm sorry, ma'am. I wasn't calling you a bitch. That was a terrible throw, Tanimura. AKA me, because I'm controlling Tanimura. Oh, that was kind of cool, though. Alright, I gotta focus. Those ones are hard. They happen so quickly that, like... It's hard to... I need to know if they're the same buttons every single time, like if it'll always be square, 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 triangle, triangle. Because if it will always be like that, then it'll be much easier because, you'll know which buttons are coming up. But anyway, like I was saying before, I need to get the Shellick. I own quite a bit of PS3 games, like a lot, physically. Because I will buy a physical copy over a digital copy 9 times out of 10. Just because I want to. But for the PS4, with the weekly deals, I've been getting a lot more digital. So I don't really have too many physical copies of PS4 games. All I really have is, looks like The Amazing Spider-Man 2, Assassin's Creed Unity, which I haven't beaten those two yet. Arkham Knight I haven't beaten yet. I've beaten Bloodborne and Dark Souls 2. No, this is Earth Angel. I thought maybe this one would be Shellick. Oh, there it is. I've beaten Dying Light. I've beaten Fallout 4. And for those of you who are like, oh, how could you beat Fallout 4 when you don't count like WWE? I've platinumed Fallout 4. I've gotten every single trophy, which means I've completed the main story for every faction. Obviously, there are some like side missions and stuff that I haven't done, and I'm counting it towards a complete, but I'm not counting as towards like a game that I'll probably never play because I love that game. It's so much fun, and once I get some extra cash and there's not really anything I need to spend it on, or the price goes down, I'd like to buy some of the DLC and then play that. It sucks because when the season pass was only $20, I didn't have money to buy it. And that always really, it always bugs me because I should have bought it, but I didn't have the money to buy it. So when they raised up the price, you know, now the chances of me buying it is even lower. But anyway, so I got Far Cry Primal, which I haven't beaten yet. I most likely will not do a Let's Play of that, mostly because the Far Cry games, they fucking get me, man. Like, I want to get everything. So that's why I'm kind of taking a break from that right now. I've beaten Watch Dogs because it's awesome. It's an awesome game, and if you say otherwise, I don't even care, because to me, it's an awesome game. I enjoyed it. I thought the hacking aspect was fucking awesome. I thought how on each mission you could, not mission like main missions, but each of the like the settlements or whatever, you could just go in guns a-blazing, or you could try to do it sneakily, you know? And I love that. I love that. I got some Vita games, which I should play more of. I actually feel bad. I went out of the trouble to get one. I got all these awesome games. It's not like I don't have awesome games for it, you know? Like, I got Conception 2, Persona 4, Golden, which I know what you're gonna say is like, oh my god, if you haven't beaten that, you should play it right now, hurry. Stop recording right now and just go fucking play. I've already beaten it. I've beaten Persona 4. It was on the PS3, but it was the PS2. You know how like you could buy it and you would play the PS2 games on the PS3. Yeah. So I played the original Persona 4 and I've beaten it. And I actually sat through and watched my dad play it the entire time. Like, I was there the entire time watching him. For the times that I was actually home while he was playing it. You know, like, there were some times where I would get home a lot later than normal or whatever, and, you know, and he'd already be home. And he would be... I forgot how to... Okay. And then he would already be home and be playing it, so there'd be some things that I missed, but you know, I would try to watch as much as possible because I wanted to help him out. You know, I really wanted him to play and complete the game, and I didn't want him to have to suffer through some of the things that I did, like the fact that you can pull out personas at any time that you've gotten before. I didn't know that the entire time I played. I don't know if I just skipped over them telling you, or if they just don't do a good job telling you, but I didn't know. So the entire game, any of the personas that I had in my inventory was me just finding them and getting them and then building them up, not just going and pulling them out for some money. I didn't really understand fusing personas until like later in the game. I didn't know that you could cook food for other people to try to raise up your social link with them. You know, like I didn't know that once you got someone maxed out, hanging out with them did nothing. So I actually spent like a week's worth of that game, like in-game a week's worth, just hanging out with, oh man, what's Yukiko, because she was the one that I romanced. I got her maxed before anybody else, and when I got her maxed, I hung out with her like for a week's worth, which I hate that I did that. Yeah. So I just gotta walk around and something will happen. And I hate that I wasted so much time on that because I wasn't able to actually I wasn't actually able to max out my entire party. Like I didn't get Naoto as a maxed out. I didn't get the uncle or your little cousin or whatever, and that really upsets me because. So when I was helping my dad, I was telling him, I'm like, hey, try to spend as little time as you can in the dungeons, and like once you max someone out, don't spend a bunch of time with them, blah 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 and stuff like that. And so he was able to get a lot more people maxed out than I was, and I think that really helped him enjoy it a little bit more because that was the part of the game that he enjoyed the most, and me too, the whole social link aspect, like getting people up, becoming friends, finding out their story, and I think they did an amazing job in Persona 4 with that. Way better. They totally learned from their mistakes on Persona 3, because everything about Persona 3's social links was just bad. I didn't like it at all. I mean, for one, to get the social links maxed with the females, you have to date them. You are dating them if you're raising up the social link. And that is bad because if you want to raise up someone else's social, like another female social link, you have to get the person that you're working on high enough first. I think you have to like max it out first. So the only way to really legitimately max out all the females is to get everyone up to a certain point where if you were to get them up one more time, then you start dating them, and then just go through them as quick as possible like that. It's really dumb. And then the whole it can go backwards thing, like your social link can go backwards. I thought that was like it was an interesting aspect, and it makes more sense realistically. But at the same time, I think Persona 4 did it a lot better, where okay, so it looks like I gotta go find him. Where if you didn't choose the best none of the answers lowered your relationship with that person. Some of the answers will give you 0 points, some of the answers will give you 1 point, and then the best answer will give you like 2 points. And that's the that's the system that I like better, because you're never reversing your thing, you're just not progressing. And that, I think that's better, because there was a couple times, Pink Street North, I think I'm on Senra, so Pink Street North right there. Alright. Because there was a couple times in Persona 3 where I would choose the answer that I thought was right, but it was the wrong answer. Like when one of your friends is trying to date a teacher or whatever, and he's like, yeah man, there's this pickup line, and it's awesome, and like he tells it to you, and it's like the cheesiest fucking thing ever, and it'll obviously never work. And then he's like, so what do you think? And I was like, dude, that's not gonna work, think of something else. But that was the wrong answer. He got all upset with me. Why are all these chicks dressed as nurses? Well, it's okay. There's a bunch of nurses around. We'll be good. Oh wait, no, they just left. Do I get to shoot him? Now, if you guys are playing a Yakuza game and you're like, man, I just want to shoot everyone, don't be playing a Yakuza game. There are guns in the game that you can get, I do believe, and the mechanic isn't very good, but if you do want to play a Yakuza game and do want to use guns a lot, buy Yakuza Dead Souls, because it's the zombie one where you use guns as your main form of fight. Like you don't even hand-to-hand fight in that one. I think you only do it like once or twice for side missions, but other than that, you don't really ever fight hand-to-hand, and it can get quite annoying because the Yakuza's engine isn't exactly set up, I'll say, for guns as a main source. But I think they did a pretty good job with Yakuza Dead Souls. I think they did a good job adapting the fighting, like the martial arts only engine style of fighting to using just guns. It's alright. Oh man. So what happened there was I pushed a little space in between all four of the buttons instead of X, because the way I hold, the way I position my thumb over the buttons is I kind of put it in that little space, like in between all of the buttons. That way, if I need to push like triangle, I'm already kind of touching it. If I need to push square, I'm already touching. But sometimes that messes me up quite a bit. Yeah, I got you. And that cute anime chick behind me is looking at you and being like, oh, what a loser, Baka. So back to what I was saying. I got Persona 4, Conception 2, and Hatsune Miku, the rhythm game, for my Vita. And then I have a bunch of like digital games, like I just got the Final Fantasy Tactics game, the Lions of War or whatever, the PSP version, because it was on sale because of the Square Enix sale that's on right now. And then I got the Dissidia 012 or whatever it's called, because I've always wanted to play that. There were, back when the original PSP came out, there were 2 games that I was more interested in than anything else. But I just didn't feel like those games were enough to want me to get a PSP over something else. You know what I mean? So I never got to play them. And those 2 games were the Dissidia game for the Final Fantasy, and oh man, what was it? What was it called? Metal Gear Solid Acid or Metal Gear Acid or something like that. Because Metal Gear Solid is one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite franchises, and hearing that there was a game coming out for it that was only on what's it called? Only on the PSP. It really, really upset me. Like I felt like I was missing out. I just hated it. But then I found out that it's not really canon, I don't think, and that it was like this card system, and that I really shouldn't feel bad about missing out on it. But then Peace Walker came out, and I was like, fuck. Well, this one's canon, and it's just a legit Metal Gear Solid game. It has some differences, but you know what I mean. So should I not be upset about this one, you know? But then thankfully, all these years later, for the PS3, they came out with a Metal Gear Solid Legacy Collection or something like that, which has every game, every main game, as Metal Gear, like the original Metal Gears, for the, I think it was Famicom, maybe? I can't remember what they're originally for, but the Japanese versions of the Metal Gear games, but with English like text now. So they have Metal Gear 1 and 2, and then they have Metal Gear Solid 1 through 4, and then they have Peace Walker. And it's freaking awesome that they did that, because a lot of those games I never got to play. I played a little bit of the original Metal Gear, but the North America version one, the one that's really crappy. I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's crappy. Fuck that. Like, most games from that era are just crappy as shit. But then they just completely ruined the original Metal Gear. So I never got to play that. I never got to play Peace Walker. So I really felt like I was missing out, And okay, there's a. Thank you. Oh, I actually know that one. So I just felt like I was missing out, and this guy wants to fight. I'm gonna let him. Oh crap! This has been going on a long time. I wasn't even paying attention to the time. I was just kind of just playing. So I'm gonna end it here. So thank you for coming. I hope you had a good time. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you like my content and want to see more. It really helps out. Have a great day.